What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here. Welcome to episode 26 of the F124 Alpine 2 Glory. In today's video, we are getting ready for the Belgium Grand Prix at Spa, my favourite circuit on the F1 calendar of all of the tracks on the game. As you can see, we are coming off a third place at Hungary, where we got blown away by both Mercedes, and we were pretty much just holding on as far as just the victory. But we did get a double podium. However, we have got some significant upgrades coming along the way. We've got a couple of major upgrades when it comes to the chassis. I know we've got a major power unit upgrade that will be on the car for the Italian Grand Prix in the next race. However, it's a quick intro today. We've got nothing to talk about. No upgrades, no nothing. Just trying to close the gap to Max Verstappen. It is 16 points between us and Max with 5 races to go. I'm probably going to try and maybe get we don't really need the aerodynamics upgrade, probably a chassis upgrade for the next race. However, it's Spa. Let's do this.
Welcome to the behemoth that they value so highly. This is Spa. It's high speed. It is really challenging. We have elevation, we have dramatic corners, and we have one driver in a few moments' time who will take pole position.
If anyone knows me, then Spa is my favourite circuit of all time, and it's just such a good track to drive on, especially with the updates that they've made for F124 with the new ROUGE and also the run in towards the Les Combes chicane as well. But as we get set for qualifying here, Sergio Perez has a 41.8. This lap hasn't been that bad for a first lap. You know, it's beginning of the session, track's at its worst as far as qualifying, and as you can see, 42 flat. So we're realistically, I'd say, 2.5 tenths away from pole position. And also, we've got the two Mercedes ahead of us, the two Red Bulls, I think Lando Norris as well in the McLaren. So this is going to be a very close qualifying as we enter the final minute of the Belgium Grand Prix qualifying. Entering turn 1, La Source, third gear, car rotates very well, and as you can see, it's all about the exit. We've gained literally over a tenth on the exit. Entering now a Rouge and also Radion up the hill, 7th gear, I have to downshift for 7th gear. Now the kink on towards the straight as we get ready to spot up braking for the Les Combes chicane, and as you can see, we've gained 2 tenths on the straight. Look how good the car just rotates in towards Les Combes, and now down the hill in towards Malmedy, and we're already 5 tenths up. So I don't expect to be quickest in Sector 1, but I do expect to be quickest in Sector 2. We are running slightly higher wings compared to what you would run here at Spa, simply because we have the best engine out of anyone. And even with our drag reduction upgrades, we can still achieve speeds of 205, 206 miles an hour on that straight. But as you can see, we are 8 tenths up, near enough, as we enter the end of Sector 2. And this should be purple, and it is a purple Sector 2, so now it's just a massive run in towards the bus stop chicane. And I think that's Max Verstappen at the end of that train entering the bus stop. So he's going to slipstream, but I think he's also going to get dirty air. So I don't think anyone is going to be improving. Gasly goes P6. Alonso goes P7, actually, as we now nail the final 2 corners here at Spa. Stay to the right-hand side, 5th gear, across the line. It's a second improvement, and that is pole position once again in the Alpine. I believe that was a 41.9. 41.9? No, 40, yeah, 41, 41.1, my apologies. 4.5 tenths quicker than George Russell, and just over 5 tenths quicker than Max Verstappen.
The Belgian Grand Prix, a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since a certain Michael Schumacher in 1992. One of the circuits that makes Formula One, Formula One. Welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix. We are about to go racing through the Ardennes Forest, 4.3 miles of long straights, fast corners and huge elevation changes. Turn 1 at La Source moves straight into ROUGE, eventually climbing into Radion. They are corner names to get the heart pumping. It's old school and we adore it. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Thomas lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Norris, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Ocon, Stroll, Magnussen, Bottas, Tsunoda, Joe, Albon, Hulkenberg and Frederick Vesti. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Well, we welcome you to the broadcast. It's going to be some race today. First of all, introductions. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me for this one, Anthony Davidson. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going?
Yeah, they have. And it's, rule number one, beat your teammate. They're the one that share the same equipment as you. And yes, the cars can vary and set up from race to race and depending on who has which style. But essentially, they're your barometer, the yardstick. If you can beat them, that's the first job you have to do. And it looks like it's going their way, doesn't it? And they need to carry on this momentum, this energy through the rest of the season.
If beating your teammates one thing, then I believe Pierre Gasly should be absolutely sacked because he's not done a good enough job. Also, Sergio Perez should be sacked as well. But here we go for the Belgium Grand Prix, a typical one-stop from soft to mediums, believe it or not. I believe that's simply because of the tyre compound and how hard the tyres are on this game. I think for fuel, we are going to be fine. Everyone is on the softs, but it depends what tyres the AI go on in the first stop. So, we've got pole position. Let's try and win.
And we're underway for the formation lap here at Spa. The cars begin their lap around the circuit that rises and falls to the hills of the Ardennes Forest. As always, the fans are here in their thousands and the atmosphere is incredible. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring their planned strategies are all in place.
As we enter the end of Season 2 of the Alpine to Glory, if you like what you've been seeing, then hit the like button so that helps the video out in the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel for all future videos in 2025 as we get ever closer to 1,000 subscribers. A pole position at Spa, George Russell in second, but hopefully we can try and retain pole position as we go down in towards the final end of the season. Getting ready for 5 red lights for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix, and it is lights out and away we go. Decent start there for us as we go down in towards turn 1. We're going to be 3 wide pretty much in towards turn 1. Hopefully Verstappen doesn't do what he did back in 2019, and thankfully he doesn't as we go down the hill. It's now important that we try and get away. Verstappen is already side by side. We're going to try and go up the hill in towards El Rouge and Radion. Side by side, we just about avoid making contact, and that could have been absolutely critical in the World Championship fight. George Russell tries to get second place. Verstappen is going to be boxed between us and George Russell as we go in towards Les Comps Chicane. We retain the lead here at Spa, and I think Russell also, he hasn't gotten Max Verstappen in towards second place, and that could be absolutely crucial in the race today. Now, I will say this, I've just noticed this, there has been a bit of an editing botch. Now, I did take new engine components as far as a new MGUH and I believe a new ICE, and I should have gotten a 10 place penalty for this race. However, the game has failed me once again and I've started on pole position, so I don't know if the penalty will be applied in the next race or whatever. But if you've been having this issue as well as far as penalties not being served correctly, then leave your glitches down in the comments below. However, lap 4, and we've already built a second gap towards Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. and we're just trying to get into a zone. We got our first race objective, drain ERS to just over 20% by lap 7, so that means we're going to be burning at least 20% each lap. And as you can see on the Kemmel Straight here, entering the bus stop chicane, we are successful in that objective, and it looks like we're going to get some experience points for our race pace, so that's quite good. Lap 6, we've extended our gap to 2.3 seconds over Max Verstappen, and hopefully we are now praying for George Russell to try and just close the gap and just to get past him, because that's what we need right now. All we can do is win these races, and hopefully Verstappen can finish 4th or worse to try and take the championship lead as soon as possible. Lap 9, and again, this has just been the story of the race. We've been extending the gap to Verstappen by, I'd say, 4 times per lap, as we have a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of the bus stop chicane there, and that has lost us some time. We've lost 6 tenths. Well, actually, no, we've lost, nearly a second, pretty much a second on that mistake there. But thankfully, Verstappen hasn't got the pace to compete against us for this race today. We get a new race objective to achieve a lap time of 1:31.1. Achieve a lap time, 1:51, sorry, as we get a DNF, I think. Is that Perez? I have no idea. Verstappen is in, Hamilton's in, George Russell is out of this race, and that could be a massive, massive blow towards George Russell's World Championship aspirations as we enter the final couple of races of Season 2. He is behind us in the Drivers' Championship, so that is going to be crucial for George Russell and also critical for Mercedes. We have decided to go long on our window. We were supposed to box on lap 9, however we are going to extend towards lap 12, and I believe we're going to be waiting for Sergio Perez to box this lap, and there he is. Perez is in, and I think Perez is going to go onto the medium tyres, but notice Max Verstappen, he's on the hard tyres. Now, I don't know why Verstappen is on the hards, considering that this is simply an easy one-stop from softs to mediums, especially with the tyre upgrades that you have on this game. But we're going to come in on lap 12 to go from the softs to the medium tyres. The tyres were pretty much dead on the end of lap 12. They were like 69% on the front left, and I think 51% on the front right as well. So as long as we haven't been held up, so let's see. Verstappen's coming in towards turn 1, I think. We're going to be retaining the lead here at Spa, and we do. However, Verstappen is in, well, he was in DRS range, but now he's going to be really closing the gap, so I'm guessing the gap is going to be around about 1.5, and it was 1.5 seconds. However, this is where the race realistically changes. Perez is now 5.5 seconds back because of George Russell's DNF, so I don't want Verstappen to finish second place, simply because I want Verstappen to lose as much points as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to realistically slow him down in Sector 2 to the point where that train of Perez, Hamilton and Leclerc, and maybe even Sainz, and also, is that a Haas behind him? I have no idea. Hopefully those trains catch up to Verstappen and they have an epic battle, and hopefully they lose time. And as you can see, lap 15, we are doing that objective quite well. Verstappen is now, he's all over us. However, that's not really what matters. However, Lando Norris is out of the Belgian Grand Prix, and Mercedes, not for the first time this season, are having awful reliability. Mercedes and Ferrari engines don't really seem to work on this game, believe it or not, and that is a shame. However, as you can see on the beginning of lap 16, Perez is now closing the gap towards us, and it was 3 seconds, now it's 2.5, so as long as we keep lifting off probably 50-100 meters before the braking zone, we should be fine. And as you can see, that train I've been talking about of Perez, Hamilton and Leclerc, they have closed the gap towards Max Verstappen, so now Verstappen is in pretty much enemy territory in this race. And as you can see, Perez actually tries to go on the inside, and we block him once again, and Perez actually takes second place. So Verstappen's teammate is costing position in this race. Now Lewis Hamilton tries to overtake Verstappen on the outside in towards La Source, and I don't think he's going to do that. But however, we don't want Perez to be too close because that Red Bull engine that car is simply ridiculous in a straight line with the amount of drag reduction upgrades it has. Perez will get DRS, however, our setup is absolutely great on straight line speed. Lap 18, and again, it's a Red Bull 2-3. Perez is second, Verstappen in third. However, I'm not liking this. I want Verstappen to lose more positions. However, Ferrari, they're not having a good season, is the old Tifosi. So what I've done now, again, I'm going to slow them down once again. And yeah, there's the train once again of Leclerc and Hamilton as well as we go down in towards Malmedy. And yeah, I'm really slowing down now, but look at the gap between our train and Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari. Yeah, the train was too much and we decided to pull away, and that was that as we come around the back straight for one final time. Hopefully Verstappen can maybe get overtaken by Charles Leclerc. I don't think that's going to happen, considering that the Ferrari has been absolutely slow. However, we have been picture perfect this weekend here at Spa. We dominated all of the weekend, pole position, fastest lap, and now another race win here at the legendary Spa Circuit.
Come on! Now we can fight! Ah, fantastic drive! That's just fantastic! Amazing! You deserved that race win! Well done, mate!
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix.
And as we get closer to the end of this year's championship, every race that you put together, well, now really sets you up for crossing the finish line in the championship in the best possible position. It's moments like this right now that really matter.
As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the folks at Alpine have shown once again just what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them.
A well-deserved win indeed for us today at Spa, and this must be our 6th or 7th win so far this season. We've absolutely dominated this season. However, we are still not in the championship lead. That's how impactful those two DNFs were. We've lost 50 points and we've had to go on a 7-race streak. Well, I wouldn't say 7-race streak, but we've had to win 7 races this season to try and catch up back to Max Verstappen. Pierre Gasly, it's a shame P8. I thought he could have gotten more in this race, but yeah, he was stuck behind Oscar Piastri and also Carlos Sainz as well. However, we do take the win, and as you can see, the gap is 5 points in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton is now down to 72. George Russell is down to 94 with 5 races to go. Bit of a battle going on there between Russell and Alonso. But that is that for episode 26 of the F1 24 Alpine's Glory. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more F1 24 career mode content. And yeah, we move on to Monza. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video in a bit.